Hello and welcome. Happy Diwali to all our viewers. You're watching Medically Speaking on NewsX, and I am Meenakshi Upreti. It's a very auspicious day, but a day which is, of course, interspersed with continuous news of pollution. Year after year, we see the AQI reducing, the air quality index, of course, becoming worse every year. This year, no different. Various measures taken, but nothing really seems to improve the situation. This time, of course, everything has become worse with the coronavirus. Now, many of you may say, as far as the pandemic is concerned, cases are at an all-time low. Why should we even worry? We must worry, say experts. Experts say that we could see a spurt in cases owing, of course, to the festivities, the festive seasons, and the crowds which we are seeing. Are you one of those who are throwing caution to wind? Should you do that? What are the precautions you should generally have around Diwali time? To talk about all of this and more, I have a panel of experts with me. All of them, of course, pulmonologists, and I'm going to start, of course, with introducing Dr. Anand Mohan, HOD Pulmonology Medicine, AIIMS, Dr. Sharad Joshi, Associate Director of Pulmonology from Max of Vaishali, Dr. Rajesh Chawla, he's a Senior Consultant, Pulmonology and Critical Care from the Indraprastha Apollo Hospital, Dr. Ravi Shekhar Jha, he is the Additional Director of Pulmonology, again, from the Fortis Escort Hospitals of Faridabad. Now, thank you all for joining us. Starting, first of all, with Dr. Mohan. Sir, year after year, as we said, the air quality index deteriorates, the air quality worsens. This time again, we are seeing a very similar pattern. Help us really understand why we must care about reducing pollution more. It's Diwali already. People are already celebrating Diwali. What do you say to those perhaps who have not deterred or refrained from bursting firecrackers once again, despite of various regulatory measures taken by subsequent and, of course, the current government as well?
Yeah, thank you. So you have raised an important question here, and I'll start by first answering why is it important to even talk about this air pollution, which has been there in our city for so many years, and it is gradually actually assuming very difficult proportions. So why is it important to talk about it is because we know the health hazards associated with air pollution and bad air quality. And this is now not just restricted to the lungs. Of course, the lungs and the airways are the most important part of the body which are affected by it, and it leads to a number of disorders: respiratory, breathing disorders, bronchitis, aggravation of asthma, and other things also which may be even more sinister. But it also has indirect or direct effects on other parts of the body as well, ranging from the problem in the eyes, the skin, neurological disturbances in the long run. Then there may be problems in the cardiovascular system. There has been a direct link associated with stroke, heart diseases, heart attacks, etc. So basically, nobody is immune. No system is immune, and that is why it is so important to talk about it. As far as your other question is concerned, what should we do? Of course, there have to be a slew of measures, including at the personal level, individual level, family level, maybe at the neighborhood level, and then going into the community level, and then at the administrative level. So it has to be done at every level. Only one level alone is not going to work. So it has to be education and legislation both. That is what I feel is important.
Hmm.
Thirdly, what should we do? Yes, you are saying because the corona pandemic has actually compounded the issue to a large extent, because that is still not gone. The pandemic is still very much here. Of course, cases are low, but still there are more than 10,000 cases on a daily basis across the country. Let us not forget that. So it may anytime surge. Schools are gradually opening, festivities are coming, markets are crowded. So unless we maintain the COVID appropriate behavior of having adequate social distancing and the mask,
Hmm.
these are the two most important things that we have to continue, apart from, of course, the vaccination. But remember, vaccination is not the only magic bullet, and very small proportion of our population has actually been fully vaccinated so far. So
Right.
we have to maintain the behavior appropriately.
Right. And so, as we speak about vaccination, about how, of course, the pollution, which we see every year, that, of course, the situation is worsening year after year, catapulted really, of course, compounded by the coronavirus. Dr. Joshi, let's first speak about the COVID pandemic, and of course, the festive season. Every time, so we have a festive season, we see people throw caution to air. We are seeing, of course, these overcrowded Diwali market as well. The visuals have been there for everyone to see. Prime Minister, of course, has held a meeting with the chief ministers to get everyone vaccinated. Vaccination, of course, very important. But as far as precaution, equally important, isn't it, sir?
Rightly said, Vaishali. So we know that is precaution or prevention of a disease is better than cure, because we don't have very effective cure for COVID especially. So COVID, as the sir said, that COVID appropriate behavior is a must, that we should continue. We can see that across the country, because of festivities and Diwali celebrations, there are overcrowding in the market, and overcrowding do happen. It does happen in any of the market, but we have to take care that we are wearing masks, we are maintaining little bit of distancing, because not only COVID, even a simple flu will spread rapidly during these overcrowding. Now, if you see, there are multiple factors which are coinciding at this particular time of the year, because the winters are setting in. There are incidences of crop burning which are increasing. Then there will be firecrackers, whether it is green firecrackers or something else, but whatever festivities are there, firecrackers are going to be part of it. So there are multiple factors which are coinciding, and they are all going to affect the health of every individual and the society. So not only COVID, even the flu will spread rapidly because of overcrowding, because of zealing and meeting each other very often. So these kind of precautions has to be taken care especially when you don't have a cure or the proper treatment of something.
Right. Precaution, of course, absolutely important. But Dr. Rajesh Chawla, help really our viewers understand that why is it even more critical this time around, that when we have, of course, the corona pandemic lurking in the background, of course, as Dr. Mohan rightly said right at the beginning, cases still above 10,000, positivity rate, it is less than 2%. Yes, that is given, but it's still pretty high. It is 1.19% even till yesterday, if we speak of the latest numbers. So clearly, we cannot forget about the pandemic. Considering that backdrop, how important is it that we really keep pollution in check? I know that we can't keep overall pollution in check, but as far as bursting crackers is concerned, as far as our personal contribution to increasing pollution is concerned, that's something which we must take care of, isn't it, sir?
Thank you. The pollution should be checked throughout the year, but unfortunately this part of the time, every year we have the pollution level rising tremendously. From October till December, and we talk a lot on the media and everywhere about pollution, and we talk much less. And now the air quality index has already crossed 300, which is the very poor quality. Now, this year it is not different than the previous years, but after it has opened up, a lot of construction activity, still there is a burning in the fields. Still, all the things, the vehicles on the roads are tremendous, because last year people could not celebrate Diwali the way they wanted. So this year there is a lot of rush on the roads. So pollution level is rising tremendously. Winter is setting in. A lot of people have suffered from COVID, and some of them are still having some respiratory symptom. So all in all, if you put together, it is having a lot of impact on the health.
Right. But sir, you spoke about long COVID, and I'd like to take that thought forward. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you in between, because you spoke of something very significant. Dr. Jha, if you could come in the conversation at this point of time. There are many who are suffering from long COVID also, and many who have, of course, lung-related issues because of course, the second wave, which had a multitude of number of people who had been affected with the disease, with coronavirus. Really, how difficult is the situation for them at this time of year? So that was a question which I was trying to ask. How difficult does it become? How much, does it get compounded by the fact that we have, of course, an additional burden of pollution at this time of the year, sir?
Thank you for asking this. Basically, this year we have much more number of cases of respiratory patients as we had 2-3 years back. The main reason is that patients with COVID sequelae are compounded added to that. So air pollution or normal pollution, normal pre-Diwali pollution level affect normal people or diseased people in two ways. First, those who have normal lungs, and second, those who have already have diseased lungs. So those who have normal lung, if they come in contact with higher pollution level, their normal respiratory system is affected in long run. But those who already have low respiratory reserve, like those who are asthmatic or those who have COVID-related sequelae in their lungs, those who have COVID fibrosis, their lungs tend to get affected too early than usual. So those patients who are patient who had COVID in maybe April or May, and he has got COVID fibrosis, who is still recovering, if he comes in contact with this high air pollution level, and there are very high likelihood that his recovery will be delayed. In medicine current will go up definitely.
Mhm.
Another thing that we all have this tendency to ignore is that normally what fibrosis patient feel is that only if they wear mask they are totally protected. Is not right. Mask, the charcoal mask, which is supposed to be protective in against air pollution, there is only one mask, that is charcoal mask, that protects you only against nitrous oxide, not against any other pollutant.
Hmm.
So the normal pollutant mask, which can give us some protection against PM 2.5, does not protect again. That does not, is very comfortable to wear. So what I would like to conclude is that patient with COVID fibrosis tend to be much more careful. They should try to avoid doing any kind of exercise when pollution level is very high.
All right. Avoid, doing any kind of exercise when pollution levels are high. But Dr. Mohan, one can't avoid going to office. One can't really stop living their lives at this time of the year. What is one to do? Yes, wearing a mask at all times. All right, that's something which way one needs to follow as far as COVID protocol is concerned. But what would be your suggestion to those who perhaps have long COVID symptoms, especially lung-related complications, either because of the pandemic or otherwise? What will you say to those? In fact, every year we have a separate advisory for the elderly and children as well, isn't it, sir?
Yeah, so there are two, again, like I said, it was mentioned, there are two type of patients. One who have got previously healthy lungs and they are exposed to bad environment, and the other, those who have diseased lungs and they are exposed to bad environment. Among the diseased lung, if you're talking about the long COVID means especially related to the respiratory system, those who have some problems, significant respiratory problems, at least after, say, 3 months or so after the acute illness. Now, fortunately, that is not a very large number in terms of percentages, but because the absolute number of cases are so high, even the small percentage becomes significant. Now, those patients obviously have to undergo and get themselves treated to the, with their physician wherever they are. Apart from that, they have to see the extreme cases, those who are on oxygen, they obviously have to be on oxygen. But majority of those will be able to do most of their activities with some precautions. Precautions are, of course, the standard precautions which we talked about, plus taking the medication in time, maybe taking the inhalers if required or whatever medicines, and just cutting down their exertional activities to the level that they are comfortable, and taking extra care to avoid situations which may be detrimental to their health. That also we have talked about.
Yes.
Staying at home actually is the best, but like you said, it's not possible. They have to work. Now, for those who have got normal lungs, again, the same principles apply to a large extent, because normal lung people, if they go out and they have a acute exposure to anything which is toxic, they will develop acute symptoms of bronchitis, respiratory effort, difficulty, and all those. So basically, it is about precaution, more about precautions and taking the appropriate medication in time.
Right. Precautions, medication, I get all of that, sir. But also then, we see a large spurt when it comes to the sale of these air purifiers. Dr. Joshi, help our viewers understand, do these air purifiers actually work, sir?
So most importantly, when the AQI is actually almost 6 to 8 times of WHO standards, which are like 50. So AQI 50 is which is acceptable, and now we are facing an AQI of 300. So patients with bad lungs or patients who already have an existing lung disease, they should be benefited with the air purifier. And they definitely have to restrict their outdoor activities. Apart from air purifier, the other thing which has to be added is like flu vaccine. The annual flu vaccine, they have to definitely take it timely. The other thing is pneumococcal vaccine. So all preventive respiratory infections, they should be prevented with vaccination. Air purifier helps to all bad patients or the patients with bad lungs. So definitely these contributes to a prevention of repeated respiratory ailment, repeated respiratory infections.
All right. Sir, as far as ailments are concerned, I get your point. But Dr. Chawla, a lot of it really comes down to the individual. Where do you think, sir, perhaps the government is failing, or perhaps where are we lacking the effort as far as information dissemination is concerned? Why is it that people are still not refraining both ways? If we say one, from say bursting crackers, personally, far as farmers are concerned, that's a different issue altogether, and I don't think that's an issue to be touched upon in this panel, of course, of medical experts. But where do you think perhaps even the medical community, perhaps even media, or perhaps everyone is failing when it comes to information dissemination? Why is it that people are still not refraining from bursting these crackers? And secondly, I'd also like to ask you about social distancing. We are seeing these social distancing norms really not being followed, especially during this particular Diwali season. One reason, of course, could be pent-up frustration. People couldn't celebrate last year. But where are we going wrong, and what would be your advice to those watching the show, sir?
Let me go backwards. You're saying why people are not following the social distancing. See, the people have been inside for a long time. Last about 4-5 months, people are out, they're wearing masks, and they keep on reading in the media, the seropositivity has crossed very high. A lot of people are vaccinated, and many patients of new COVID are coming in Delhi, although there are 10,000 all over India, but not in Delhi. So they think probably it is safer. That's what their perception is. But what I'm noticing is in last about a week or 10 days, people are now not wearing masks. There's no harm going out, keep distance as much as possible and wear masks. Because you see, still there is a outside chance that we may have. Definitely there will be a little spurt of cases post Diwali. But I hope and I wish, and because of the vaccination and seropositivity, the number may not be that high. So that is the reason. It is a natural perception of a human being that it will not affect me, it will affect everyone else. Who doesn't know that air pollution is bad? Everyone knows. Everyone knows every year that this time is bad. People should wear masks. Otherwise also.
Sero surveys are concerned. Are they really reliable? Because they haven't been reliable till now. Why should people now rely on sero surveys? Earlier we spoke of herd immunity. Earlier we spoke of course, how these sero surveys, herd immunity really have not given very reliable data. Why should it be any different this time around?
I mean, thank you for asking this, but I feel that it is slightly premature to comment on serious survey that if it is reliable or not. But what science says that, I mean, we cannot totally rely on serious survey. There are 2-3 things that we need to understand. First, vaccination or seropositivity does not prevent us from getting any new infection. It only prevents disease from getting severe. So if we are vaccinated, that does not mean that we can, give up the COVID appropriate behavior. Another thing that I have noticed that people feel that COVID appropriate behavior means following either hand hygiene or mask or other. I mean, I've seen people who do not wear mask but do hand sanitization at every possible step. So that is not how COVID appropriate behavior works. So as far as sero surveillance is concerned, I'm not very upbeat about it that it is not going to help us too much. There are many patients who come in my OPD who are not vaccinated. Their antibody levels are reasonably high. There are many patients who got natural infection, their antibody levels are very low. So I mean, in no way it is connected to the level of protection that you have got.
Dr. Mohan, since we are speaking about respiratory diseases, since we are speaking about asthmatic, we've also covered as far as the elderly are concerned. And of course, all of this in the backdrop to the COVID pandemic, sir. Holistically, sir, do you see the situation improving even the next year? Because, these are discussions, as I said right in the beginning, you all also must have had multitude of times, this is really continuing to be a vicious circle. Do you see the situation improving? What is the way out? Because there is no point of endlessly discussing where we are going wrong. Solution-based approach, sir. What will you say, Dr. Mohan?
Well, although the situation does remain grim, but still I would like to be optimistic, and I would like to hope and feel that yes, things will improve. But of course, it needs a lot of effort. It will need a lot of coordinated effort. And like I said before, right from the individual level, family level, at the neighborhood level, community level, and then at the administrative or the legislative level. So there will have to be a strong will at every level. we just cannot say ki it is their job and it is not our job alone. That won't work actually. Whether it is control of the corona pandemic or it is control of the air pollution, both the things ultimately are going to have bad effects on the health. So that is what we have to really understand.
A concerted effort needs to be made, sir.
done.
But then what will you say to those who sabotage this effort? For example, Dr. Joshi, there are many who are now propagating favorably against bursting crackers. We know statements which had come from very renowned celebrities. You have Sadhguru also, you have Kangana Ranaut, and many others who have related bursting of crackers to religion. What will you say to those who say it's intrinsic to religion? Let at least children celebrate. We are perhaps being overcautious.
In Delhi, we especially have that we have seen AQI of worse than 1200. So that was very, very alarming. It was like we were breathing in the gas chambers. So whenever you come out of your house, you'll see that there is burning in the eye, there is burning in the nose. So these have made us very, very cautious. But if you see that firecrackers on Diwali had been a very long-standing thing. So to some extent, these people are right that, okay, to certain duration, maybe green crackers, we can go ahead and celebrate our Diwali because firecrackers or crackers have been a part of celebration of Diwali. All right. But we cannot completely make culprit these crackers for these all pollution. The pollution which we see during this winter when winters are setting in. There is partly contributed by traffic. It is partly contributed by fire, these crop burning. So all these things are contributing, and especially these polluted gases, they remain downwards. Right.
Right. So it is, of course,
so definitely.
Right, yes. So, you know what, I agree with
so
you.
It's not
factors which actually contributes to pollution, and it isn't. You can't say, I completely agree with you. You cannot say that firecrackers are the
only culprit.
Culprit. Yes, I agree with you. You know, Dr. Chawla, if you could come in the conversation, even though there are a multitude of factors, and I hope your audio video issues are fixed now, sir. Even though it's a multitude of issues, cracker bursting is in our hands. What would you say to the anti-cracker banning lobby? Would you agree? Perhaps with Dr. Joshi, would you also say that we can have a moderate celebration of Diwali with at least green crackers, or would you back those who speak about banning crackers altogether? What would be your view as an expert, sir?
See, I think with such a high level of pollution, we should ban crackers. You know, there is no cracker which is safe, whether it's a green cracker or a normal cracker, that none of them is safe. Because you see, the government has already banned cadmium, arsenic, lead, and barium nitrate. And all these green crackers still have barium nitrate in them, which has been banned. So none of the cracker is safe. So you should not allow this, because it's a festive of joy and not harming others. How can you harm others by bursting crackers? So I think we should, at every level, at legislation level, Dr. Anand was saying, we need to, this time has come, we should all together stop crackers. At individual level, at the government level, everyone should now be responsible to please stop crackers. And, you know, still there will be pollution, but at least you don't add to this. That's very, very important.
Well, absolutely. So individually, of course, we should we should follow caution from COVID protocols to perhaps refraining from bursting crackers. I would agree with you there, sir. Dr. Jha, what would be your advice? I mean, because we are reaching the conclusion of the show, we have about 3 to 4 minutes left, and I'll try to take a concluding argument, very quick one from all of you. But Dr. Jha, what would be your concluding argument? It was a rather superficial discussion, because we had plenty of topics really to discuss. But when we speak of Diwali this time around in the backdrop really of the COVID pandemic, what will be your one definitive advice to those watching the show, sir, as we close the show today?
Yeah, so I would like to conclude with the fact that I do not, I don't feel that we should totally blame Diwali and crackers for a kind of air pollution. Last year, the very interesting fact is that last year, When there were at the time of Diwali, air quality index was very bad, but it was very short lasted. The bad air quality index was only for 1 or 2 days, and after that it regained its previous pre-Diwali level. So it has been seen that the pollution level because of Diwali is not very long lasting. So there are other things that we need to consider. First is government should regularize construction. There should not be any open construction. We should regularize the old cars and vehicles plying on road. We should sensitize the population for plantation drive and other things. And foremost, if we have to ban something, we must ban smoking and cigarettes and other things rather than completely banning crackers.
All right, banning crackers, of course, not a very holistic solution, according to you, sir. Let's just now take a closing comment from everyone. Dr. Mohan, your last word. We have, of course, heard an advice, of course, for the government and for the people. Let's bifurcate it. What would be your advice, first of all, sir, to policymakers, those who are watching the show? Closing comments, sir.
Well, see, I think the policymakers, they know very well what is the problem, and I think they are working on it also over the last several years. The only thing which I can say is that at every level, there is still a long way to go, and it is still work in progress. We still have to do more. That is all I can say. Whatever we are doing, we need to be more organized. We need to be faster. We need to be maybe stricter also in some ways. So basically, the end result has to be a completely clean environment. That is what I feel, by whatever way we do it, and the fastest possible we do it.
All right. You'd rather leave it to the policymakers. Fair enough. Dr. Joshi, I do understand that Dr. Mohan sort of dodged my question, but would you like to take it, sir? And any advice for policymakers watching the show, sir?
So, not only policymaker, I think rightly said by Dr. Mohan, sir, that it's everybody's responsibility. Policymakers will have some legislation, but people will steal something, right? They will try to still use crackers during Diwali, or they will still try to burn the crops, or the construction will continue to go on wildly. But it's the responsibility of each and everyone. So we have to understand through your channel that it's not the responsibility of only legislative assembly or the people who are making laws. It's the responsibility of every citizen, and that is how we are going to maintain this.
Right. Dr. Chawla, responsibility of each one of us. But do you think that this Diwali could be a turning point for COVID? The show telecasting, of course, on Diwali day, beyond Diwali, what will be your advice to people? Follow COVID protocol. That's something, of course, all of us have been propagating for over a year, but it has been a lull period for people. Certainly, of course, when you have a very low number of cases, when you have things looking much better, people tend to reduce their caution. What will be your advice to people going beyond Diwali, sir, as we close the show?
Yes, I just want to say to everyone, happy Diwali to everyone, and let's have this Diwali full of joy. We all have suffered, and let's everyone contribute to make the environment clear. Whatever you can do, at least do not burn crackers, do not do whatever can prevent the aggravation of pollution in the coming years. And let's have a happy Diwali with following COVID appropriate behavior some more time. Thank you.
Well, absolutely. I think you very beautifully summarized it for us. It's a Diwali special, of course, which we are telecasting today. A very happy Diwali to all our viewers, of course, but with a word of caution. Celebrate, but with caution. That really is the advice coming from the expert. All of us, of course, have known most of the things which we discussed today, but I guess sometimes they need to be reiterated in the public domain to ensure that even beyond Diwali, even beyond a happy Diwali, we have a happier life with keeping ourselves healthy. Hopefully, we will see no third wave, as epidemiologists have been predicting. Festive season is likely to be a turnaround for COVID. A lot of it remains in our hands. Let's hope that we all follow the precautions and ensure that we do not only contribute to pollution, but not also to the rising number of COVID cases, which we had seen earlier in India. For now, I'd like to conclude the show and thank all our experts, all four of them, who have taken out time to join us on NewsX. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, everyone.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.